What is up, guys? We're back with episode 2 Ninja Pineapple Podcast. We didn't come up with a better name yet. That's the only thing we didn't do.
Oh yeah, I like the NinjaPineapple
Um,
podcast. I like it.
we did upgrade though, so as you can see, we're still on our black background with the pineapple ninja that pineapple was able to make. But now we're gonna show you. We're stepping up to the big leads, boys. We're taking you to live to the studios with breaking news. Going to you, pineapple.
Breaking news. Here in outer space and a futuristic city and a studio at the same time. We're doing it.
There,
I
I
feel
can't
like
tell if the drones are fighting each other or what's happening, but they are freaking out in the back.
they are all over the place. Apparently, there's something going on. We've always got police drones out here. Just patrolling the area for our safety. It's we live in a safe city.
So this is essentially episode 1.5, except for we did wait a week because when the last episode that we did, we had only seen the Jedi for the Mandalorian, and we were dying to talk about that. But
Oh,
now we actually have another episode, which is just as good. So this podcast will probably be 99% about the Mandalorian and Star Wars, guys.
right. Hence the I think the new motto is going to be our Mando Mondays, so we can talk about Mandalorian every Monday. I think it's gonna be good.
We got our special guest, Mando, here, and he brought his is it his child? His child, Baby Yoda.
Grogu.
Dude, first off, how'd they name him? But still in the episode descriptions, it still calls him the young one, or like it doesn't even call him his name.
I
The
don't know.
child.
I
It
I'm
says the child.
so man. There's so much to talk about. I can't just you got to start the topics because I'll go all over the place if we
Well,
don't have some structure.
we gotta start where we should have started last week, and that's with the episode where we
Us-
finally got to see Ahsoka.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So I mean, obviously this is a week old, but uh, hell yeah, hell yeah. Like I still said, as soon as the sabers go out, man, you just I literally was laying on the couch and I'm like, all right, what hopefully this, I thought they were going to be teasing us. I thought they were going to tease us a little bit. I thought they were going to just like drag it out, give us an episode where it's not. And as soon as I see those sabers pop, man, I jumped up off the couch and I was like, oh, 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 oh shit. Oh shit. Something's about to start.
It was definitely the best episode so far, with us seeing the new episode, The Tragedy, being really close, but it can't top the Ahsoka episode. The way they introduced her, they didn't start off slow right away, and they did not do her wrong. I meant to say they did not do her wrong at all.
No, no, I mean, wow. Uh, yeah, it was good, man. My big, I think I said this to you before we did the before we decided to do the podcast, but I said, I was worried about how they were going to pull off lightsabers in the TV series. I know you weren't because you know what they're capable of and the budget that they have. But I was just like, I was thinking, man, how are they going to pull off lightsabers in a TV series, and like, how would they do it, and are they going to be able to do it frequently enough to where, we get some really kick-ass lightsaber battles. And so when she, pops them out a couple times and she's able to move around, I'm like, man, it's almost like they've got this down. Like they can do this, they can pull this off. And then she chops the tree and force pushes the tree, half the tree over the guy, and then she chops the bell. I'm like, the what? What are you not gonna be able to do? Like, you can do everything now. Like
It was
you,
like a Genzo commercial. You could chop
oh
this
my
and you
god,
could chop that, and for one price of 19.99, you don't even got to sharpen these bad boys.
it slices, it dices, it julienne's fries.
It
Okay,
uh,
so
it it's probably the best Star Wars scene in a TV show, coming
yeah,
decently top 10 to the best Star Wars scene in a fucking movie, man. It was
yeah,
awesome. And I told you when we were off stream that I was asking you what scene did that remind you of any other scene in Star Wars? And this weekend when I was in Vegas, happened to be Rogue One was on TV, and I caught the end of it when I was trying to crash out the other night, and it does. The scene in Rogue One where they give you the lead up to is it Return of the Jedi or
Right before he just like mows down like everybody in the hallway. Is that what you're
yeah.
talking about?
So
Yeah.
when Darth Vader, when they re-show Darth Vader and he comes out of the hallway and then boom, the red
Yep.
lightsaber and then
Yep.
Carnage, it matched
Yep.
hand in hand with that, as it should, since Ahsoka was Anakin's fucking Padawan, dude.
That's so true. It's so true. I just the thing is that you get the power and the mystique and the you get all of that, even though we're fans of the series, right? We know what a Jedi is, we know what a lightsaber is, but the way that they introduced her, they did it in such a proper way that it got you excited about the character. She didn't just come out and, I'm a master at all this stuff, and I mean, even though she was badass and was pretty much untouchable, it didn't feel like that tip. It's almost like Superman syndrome, right? Like Superman's just untouchable, right? It didn't feel like she was an untouchable Jedi, but yet she was an untouchable Jedi. You get
Well,
what I'm
you
saying?
you definitely felt her strength though, right? So
You
like
did. You
at that point in time in Star Wars in the timeline, she is probably one of the baddest motherfuckers still walking around at that point.
Yep. Yep.
And you definitely caught that sense. And the good thing about what they're doing this TV show is you're right. They're introducing him. They're introducing a character so that somebody who maybe just started watching or doesn't watch as much, or maybe somebody who didn't want to put time to the animated series because those weren't for everybody. But now watching all this, you definitely should go back and watch Clone Wars, and you definitely should go watch Rebels. Rebels is not as good series. It's not a bad series. It's not as good of a series as Clone Wars, but
Right.
they just did this thing where they wove them all in together for the super fans, and they just did it so fucking clean. It's not even funny.
Hmm.
John Favreau, Dave Filoni, those guys, they're going to be known. They're going to be put on a pedestal above George Lucas if they continue what they're doing.
Yeah. I can. I mean, I'll tell you this, and I think this would. I think anybody would back this up. Rogue One, take that out of the mix. This series, this TV series, is better than the past six movies, and that's just my personal opinion. I think
I
it's just
I
better.
I, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that this they learn from their mistakes. I think that the last three Star Wars movies had so much potential, but you have these whole who's gonna direct, who's gonna do this. Are the directors gonna work together to tell the same story, or do they all have their own visions? And they F
Right.
themselves. Where this right here, this TV show, is the same core people group of people who are inviting directors who they like that
Right.
also like Star Wars. Like
Right.
the guy from the Marvel movies. What is his name? Taiko Waititi. I'm probably murdering that name right there.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They brought him in. He's an
Awesome.
amazing director, and he's jumping into this pool with these guys and following their stories and shooting amazing episodes. That's what you
Oh
should
yeah.
do whenever you go to make a series, whether it be TV or movies. You got to bring
Yep.
people in, and it's not about how many people can outshine each other. It's how can we make this project outshine any other project because we're all working together. And they all
Yep.
give each other love about who's the best at making this, making that. You can almost tell what kind of episode you're going to be watching just by what person directed it.
Yep. Yeah. My favorite thing so far about each one of the characters has been they don't feel forced, and I love the female characters, how they feel naturally set in place with their strength. Like there's a lot of strong feminine, characters in this TV series, And for me, with the movies, it felt forced and like non-realistic, whereas with these characters, it feels so natural that these strong, women characters are just there. Plus, Ahsoka. I think what's cool about Ahsoka, and I think even John, or whoever was directing it, I think these guys knew that they didn't have to like give us this lead up to Ahsoka being a badass because we already know that. So I liked how with her they just threw her in at being a badass, and it worked really well.
Dave Filoni
Whereas,
is the one who
go
did
ahead.
that episode, and
Yes,
he's the one that brung her character to fruition, right? He's the one from
man, it's
Clone
so
Wars,
good.
so it is only right that he brings her into the episode. And if someone else had done that, maybe they would have tried to overhype her. Maybe they wouldn't have did it as well enough at the beginning. He did it perfect, dude, because that was his baby. That Ahsoka is
And
his baby.
well, the thing is that he did bring her in slow and then fast, and he did it so good because you know like I said, it wasn't like this overpowered Jedi moment, even though she was. It's just that she was like a ninja or a samurai. It was super stealthy and came in slow, but hard and fast at the same time. And it was just this epic dude. I was you got I wish you could have seen me. My face was I was just smiling from ear to ear because I was like, holy shit, they finally figured it out. Like, yes, a Jedi is extremely overpowered in the universe and they're super capable, and this scenario is no match for a Jedi, right? Like and she had that confidence when she was like, I'm gonna give you a day and then you're gonna see. Like, I'm not playing games, right? So like, she had the confidence and everything, and she was definitely capable, but the way they let her come in and do the scene and just it was so good, man. It was so freaking good. And they've done that with all these characters. They've introduced them so well, and I'm just so happy that we're getting strong women, strong men. We're getting strong character development. We're getting just good emotion from the characters. I mean, dude, the fact that you can feel emotion from Mando, with a mask on is just a testament to the actor and the voice acting. It's crazy.
Sidetrack a little bit since you said mask
Sidetrack.
on. Did you see any of the stuff that was written that the actor that does Mando right now was kind of getting upset that he didn't get any FaceTime, and they were talking about replacing. I mean, like obviously be easy replaceable because I don't think they're ever gonna have too much mask off, if any more. But like,
Right.
I couldn't tell if that was fake or not. But I did see because the actor is a decent actor. I forget the other movies he's been in, but
Right.
as an actor, I'm
Um
sure you want to show your face because
right.
anybody could hop in there.
I do know that right now he is actually Mando's played by three different people. Like, there's a guy that's a gunsmith that dresses up and does all the gun movements. There's a guy that does like all the martial artists like movements, and then
Well,
there's the actor.
with any
So
movie,
there's
obviously, but he's the voice, so he does the
right.
voice, and um, a majority of any dialogue scenes he's definitely doing. But
Right,
there was
absolutely.
this thing that was ran that he was I don't want to say demanding. I think one of the articles did say demanding FaceTime.
Mhm.
He wanted some FaceTime. I think that especially because people knew that now we were going to see the other Mandalorians and they weren't. You had to have your helmet on.
Right.
But they're staying true with. It seems to me like they're going to stay true with the Death Watch thing on. Hey, you keep your helmet on. You don't take it off.
Right.
We did see
Right.
the robot take his helmet off, right, when they saved him when he had the shrapnel in his head, but it
Right,
didn't count
absolutely.
because he wasn't a human. I mean, some loophole. I forgot what the actual loophole was, but
Right, right. He's also unconscious, wasn't he? So,
I think he went out pretty
or
quick after that. But
yeah. So I look at it like this guy. What's this guy's name, by the way? The actor. I can't believe I don't know this already.
it's a great.
Oh, I can't Google it because it gets rid of our.
Here, I'll look it up right now. I should
Um,
know his name also, but
I feel bad because he deserves a lot of respect. So, but the actor that plays Mandalorian, man, he's gonna be remembered. This is a good part. I mean, this his voice is so iconic that he's gonna go down as being like, was it James Earl Jones that played Darth Vader?
yes.
I mean, that's the iconic sound of his voice. Like, when you hear his voice, you're always gonna know it's the Mandalorian's voice. And so, if he's complaining about that, which I doubt it, he seems really happy to be in this role. But if he's upset about it, he needs to think about how iconic is James Earl Jones.
Pedro Pascal. He's played in quite
Okay,
a few things.
I've seen him in several movies. He's a great actor. And this guy, man, it's just great. It's great. It's so good. And this is going to be a career staple. Like he is the Mandalorian. It's like Tony Stark and
Did
I
you
mean,
watch Game of Thrones?
I did watch Game of Thrones.
He was the guy from the desert area that
Yep.
fought the
That
mountain
fought the
that
mountain. Yep.
got a little too cocky before it was over, right?
Yeah. Very good actor, man. Very
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
very convincing. Yeah. It was great, man. So I mean, I'm excited. I'm definitely like that episode. I was freaking pumped. My biggest thing is always I want to see Jedi. That's to me that's a fundamental part of Star Wars. It's good to see them. I know that they don't want to overdo it, which makes a lot of sense. But I was just happy, man, that they were able to pull off lightsabers. I know they
Well,
did the dark saber, but when you
so
look at
that's
that
that's the
prop,
thing right there. I don't think they're trying to underdo it or overdo anything. I think they're introducing because
right,
what they're doing here is they're world building.
right,
And this show is going to be essentially the backbone of like four of their spin-offs with instead of saturating this TV show with a bunch of side stories, they're
right,
introducing people. These people are obviously going to help towards the plot, but you're going to get a side spin-off, whether it be after this point or what happened to this person before this point, of these characters. The man or the Bo-Katan, you're gonna figure out how she lost the dark saber, what happened in that little section when Darth Maul was over there. You're
yeah,
gonna find out about Ahsoka. The Ahsoka TV show has already been rumored over and over again. It was confirmed last week. They had their Disney meeting. The Ahsoka TV
yeah,
show we will
yeah.
have, if COVID doesn't mess up production, we'll have it Christmas time 2021. If not, we'll have it soon
Oh
after.
my god,
Like
that's crazy, man.
the this show is
Star
doing
Wars is
things.
I know. Star Wars is gonna get so much like dude, we're gonna get so much Star Wars in our lifetime now. Like it's crazy.
Well,
It's crazy.
you're gonna get all this storytelling that you can't. I don't want to say you can't, but that you would have to normally wait for a movie to come out, and they can't. They're not gonna make a Ahsoka movie, this movie, that movie. That tends to not work out very well. When you have
Right.
a trilogy and it has a bunch of things going on, that works out well. But when you make a movie just about one person, what happened, this little gap, sometimes it's a hit or miss. But if you do TV shows, you can do TV shows. It could be a limited series where it's 10
I
episodes.
know.
You could do a
Man,
couple seasons.
they
There's
don't
so
really
much.
feel like TV shows though, do they?
Uh,
That's
so
so well done.
the only thing that feels like a TV show to these things is they're so short. And when I say
Oh, I
so
know they're
short, I
30
mean
minutes.
like they are not long enough. Okay, even the one episode that was 50 minutes, not long enough for me. Okay, I
Not
just
long enough.
like I want more. But
That's almost movie time. Like an hour and 15 minutes, right? Hour and 30 minutes is almost movie
an
time.
hour and 20 is a feature film, right? So if you have anything that's an hour and 20, it's a feature film,
Right, but if you
technically.
add up all these shows, how many hours,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's a couple. It's a trilogy
Really
already,
good.
I would guess. But
It's really
so
good.
keeping on with the Jedi episode until we go to the next one. So Ahsoka
Right.
comes in. We get introduced very strongly, right? And then you see such an overpowered character. But what else do you see? You see that Mando was able to chill for a second. There was a 45-second small, fight scene to where you're like, oh shit, Beskar is the strongest metal out there. It can't be cut by a lightsaber, and this is how they would fight a Jedi if they had to. You can kind of see a couple of the little moves they would do, right? So
Right.
it did show you that, like, yeah, Jedi's are the shit, but there's people like Mando and a few other characters that could compete essentially against a character like that, you know? So you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Mando is a badass still, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's pretty cool to
It
see
was
each one of these characters and how they
yeah.
just merge into it.
It was definitely cool to see him Wonder Woman guard the lightsaber attacks for sure. Like I was like, okay, yeah, I
So,
get it. This is good. I go with this.
the only thing he didn't do, which I'm surprised, because I think like for the longest time after we saw the ability, he used it in every episode. What ability is that? Come on, tell me.
The little like 60 missile thing.
No, the fucking flamethrower, bro.
Oh, the
For a
flamethrower.
while, he
Yeah,
like every episode, there's some reason why he had to flame somebody. He's like, maybe he was out of butane.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe he's out of gas.
But yeah, like so the other the other the other thing that I got out of that episode, besides it just being amazing on setting up Ahsoka, was it showed you that we have learned from our past in Star Wars. Okay, she instantly was like, I'm not training him because he has feelings. And what happens when you train somebody who's strong as fuck but has feelings?
You get Anakin Skywalker.
you get
Darth
you,
Vader, actually.
you get that kid that you're not really sure what's going on.
Yep. Which I thought was really cool because at the same time, she's also foreshadowing that this could actually end up being a dark side character.
Well,
Which
I don't want to jump ahead, right? We're still on the
okay,
Jedi episode, but
right,
you're 100% correct.
right, pretty
Uh,
sick.
it does show that why it makes you think. Why did Anakin, a sweet boy, end up being Darth Vader, right? And he had plenty of chances, but he was missing something in his life, in my opinion. Okay, this is a very each person sees it their own way. They all come to the same conclusion, but how he got there was a little different. But like Anakin
Right,
Skywalker, young boy, two Jedi's come into his life. This kid has crazy abilities already on being able to do a pod racer when a normal, average human shouldn't have the reflexes of that to do this. Um, he comes in, gets taken on this amazing journey. The original person that invites you on this journey is murdered. Okay, murdered by somebody, a Sith. So murdered by somebody who does dark side powers. You're essentially not invited, but told. Not I wouldn't say told, right? But like you're not invited to be a Jedi. You're
right,
I'm gonna make him a Jedi. So people, there's that in the background. I don't know. I don't know if I guess Anakin would ever have known that because he was so little, right? I don't know if he would have said or if he would have knew that they didn't want him to go through the training because he was too old. I would assume he would though, right? Because
right,
he would know the age you need to be of a Jedi. But you have all these things happening, and then him always looking for some kind of companionship. The first one being with the Chancellor. Spoiler alert.
right. Well,
The Emperor.
technically Qui-Gon would
Well,
be
yeah,
his
yeah,
first companion. Yeah,
but after the fact, right? So, like after the fact, he's always looking for somebody who wants to give him that pat on the back, tell you how good you are. And the Chancellor did that to him, knowing that he's going to build an ego on him.
right.
And then being in love with how much older was she, by the way, right?
Uh, that always kind of creeps me out a little bit. Like I know, like space travel, you can age faster, slower, and uh, but yeah, like I mean, he was definitely into older women, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
I would say by
being in love with somebody who like you knew you couldn't be with, but somehow you finagled your way into that situation. That's
right,
when like you're a 7, but somehow you pulled a 10.
right. I'm gonna say this. I think that she was a young queen, right? So I think she was probably like a 16 or 17-year-old queen,
I think so
and
too.
I'm
I think
thinking
they said that at a later film that she was really young
right.
during that.
And how old was he? Like maybe 10 to 13, maybe 10 to 12.
I think we're in the right age range. I want to
Right.
say
So
yeah.
I think that at maximum there's probably a 4 to 5 year difference between the two. So it's not outlandish once they're in their 20s. You know what I mean? Um, it
But
wasn't. It wasn't
the age of the actors is what gets you, right? Because I want to say when
right.
in that first movie, Anakin's actor looks about 7 to 8 to 9 on a good
And
day.
that's what made that whole movie creepy for
And
me.
she
That
looked
whole
about 1921 to me, okay?
right, right. It was so weird. Are you an angel? Cause I've heard that whole movie. Like I said, I didn't really care for. It's working. I can't get that stuff out of my head, man. Like,
But
don't
so
get me wrong. I like Star Wars, more Star Wars, give me more, but it just, yeah, when you look back, but you know what? The same thing happens if you look back at the older films. You try to watch those again, you're like, man, I can't believe this acting was this bad.
So, Anakin. I feel like with things going a different way, Anakin could have been the good Jedi he needed to be. Right? He really
If
could have.
Qui-Gon hadn't died, yes. I believe if Qui-Gon
Definitely,
didn't die,
definitely. If Qui Gon didn't die, but I think
yeah,
well, you know what? I guess you're right. I think if Qui Gon didn't die, it would have been the best case scenario. There was probably
yeah.
a couple small other scenarios that could have still did it, but the whole
Right. Can I give you my like little rundown, like mentally, of how I perceive like the whole connections with everybody? So I look at it like this: Qui-Gon was technically a father figure for Anakin. And just like any father figure, you lose your father figure when you're young. You're gonna have a rough life anyway. It's kind of statistically, actually, it's very accurate. So I feel like Qui Gon's a father figure that comes in to take him away, saves him from the planet, gives him hope and everything else, right? And could keep him on the right track and help him even in the case. And Qui Gon would have been able to break the rules in order to go help Anakin rescue his mother, right? That's Qui Gon's mo. He would have been open to that part of the Force, right? Whereas Obi-Wan was more like a brother and an equal, and so he never really looked up to him like a master or a father figure, which was is a different kind of bond. It's one of those bonds where you can feel betrayed, right? Like he did. So I feel like as soon as Qui-Gon was out of the picture, Obi-Wan didn't want to train him. He was doing it out of, respect for his master, but he really didn't want to train him. And there was always this little bit of like um I think Obi-Wan in a way was kind of intimidated by it, and was like, no, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? This is just this not it's above my pay grade kind of thing. Um, so there's this brotherly love between the two of them, but not the fatherly guidance, and that's why he sought the fatherly guidance that he missed from the Chancellor, and that's what led him down to the dark side, is because he had obviously had more admiration, more respect for the father figure, which went from being Qui-Gon to being the Chancellor. So that's how I always looked at it. And then of course, you know, um, I feel like Vader had to betray his father to become a father, which was Palpatine.
well, so like I agree with most of that except for the whole Obi-Wan being intimidated at all. I think that more the fact that Obi-Wan wasn't completely done with his training.
Right.
His master was murdered. Next thing you know, you're jumping 3 steps ahead, and
Right.
you have one of the newer Jedi masters who maybe didn't earn it the way a lot of the other ones did. Now
Right.
training someone else, so it's like getting secondhand training almost, and he's doing the best he can. Obi-Wan obviously was a really good Jedi. He was a lot wiser when he was older, for sure. But
Right.
he was thrown into the fire, right? It was like day one. Guess what? Here you go.
Yeah.
You're killing Sith today. Here we go, buddy.
Yeah. I want to see an Obi-Wan series so bad. I feel
The
like he's like the biggest badass in the whole friggin'
the,
story, but
the
that's okay.
Obi-Wan series is going to be so good, and it's going to be so good because they're going to have Ewan McGregor, who already
Dude, he's
did
such a
such a good Obi-Wan when he was
he
younger,
did. Yep.
be aged and not have to be like aged digitally. He'll be like he grew into the next role. Like you waited a
Yep.
perfect amount of time, I think.
Yep. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. I even if it's just a cameo for a flashback, I'm so down.
So so let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go to this week. Okay,
Spoiler.
chapter
Spoiler alert.
chapter 14, the tragedy. And I
Oh,
do have to say, we had our talk. Our talk was off the podcast because we were so hyped we wanted to get our episode done. But I
yeah.
told you, and I fucking told
You
you.
call dude, you called this episode so accurate that when
It's
I was
like
sitting
I
there
wrote
watching
this
it,
episode, bro.
I knew it was late, but I was gonna text you and be like, "Holy shit!" Like, did you read the friggin' script before this came out?
I fucking
Um,
surprised myself how well I hit this
I
episode.
I was like, "How in the hell did he predict this 110%?" I mean, to the T. I did not think in this episode dude, at all. And I don't want to get to the end, but maybe I should. I just did not think in this episode that they were going to abduct him at all. I didn't think it was
So
going to go that
let's
far.
go. Let's go. We'll do small sections so we can both talk about
Can
each
I start with the
filling and go to
first
the
thing? Can I
next.
start with the Can I start with the first thing?
First thing first.
Fucking Boba Fett is
No,
alive.
you jumped ahead too far. We already knew that, by the way. We already knew that. But first thing, how surprised, or I mean, obviously we're happy, but how surprised that it wasn't a filler episode? Because you thought it was gonna be a filler episode.
Oh man, I swear I thought it was going to be a filler episode.
Had to go get
So
some
pissed.
gas. Had to go get some gas in the ship before you made it. You know,
Oh
like
man,
get some in and out in space.
I thought we got baited in the last episode. This last episode was too good. It's too good for them to go ahead and give us the planet, to give us the Seeing Stone, to give us the abduction, to give us fucking Boba Fett, dude. Like, but here's what I thought. But what did I say? I said they're either going to give us filler or they're going to keep revving up all the way to the end. So
Yeah.
what's next?
Well.
What's next? Because
I'll
there's
get
2 more episodes.
I'll get
Right?
to my predictions, and it'll
Right.
be this is recorded. It'll be uploaded on YouTube before the next 2 come out, so you guys will see it documented. I'm only gonna call one episode at a time because I think it'll be hard to guess the whole rest of the series.
The whole rest of the season.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna call what I think is gonna happen next, and since I hit this one so well, I'm pretty strong feeling I know what's gonna happen next. But let's go with we came in hot. We hit the planet. They see the structure, which I would have gonna expect like a Jedi temple. This is how you know you hit a TV show, okay? Because we're on a TV show, we don't want to waste a whole bunch of money on effects on like a nice Jedi temple for a bunch of fill space. So what they did was they found a cool structure. I think that structure is a real life structure, by the way.
Really?
On top of a mountain, and we're like, hey, this is a spot. Put Baby Yoda up there. Do your thing. Ain't nothing happening. Full on Yoda, dude. Full on goes into Yoda mode, and you just see this light field go on him. And this is the first thing that makes me super excited because I thought about it right away, but because of how the episode happened so fast, it was a very short episode. I couldn't really appreciate it until the second time I watched it. But so he gets into his I don't even know what you call it because I've seen it on one of the cartoons of like what they call it when they're actually doing that. But he's in there, he's doing his thing, and what happens
Super
next?
Saiyan power up.
How do you know? How do you not tease somebody anymore? You pull up in one of the top 4 spaceships that are you. If you see this spaceship roll by, you know who it is. If you see a Millennium Falcon, you can almost bet your money Han Solo's flying it. If you see an X-wing with orange on it, Luke Skywalker's in it, baby. If you see that thing, I don't even know the name of Boba Fett's ship, but the way that it flies upward position that goes down like that, you know that's Boba Fett, baby. You see Boba Fett fly in, you're like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with the one negative thing because I haven't been able to find too many negative things about this stream or about the show. So, and this is not even a major thing. This is like a very small, like super picky. I feel like Mando went into this force field thing one too many times.
Well, dude, no. First off,
I
you're like, hey, wait. I gotta do a lower angle. I gotta bend down a little lower and push a little harder.
I think after it zapped his ass and threw him back the first time, I feel like that was enough to where, hey, I'm gonna let you do your thing, and I'm gonna guard you, and I'm gonna stop trying to come and get you because obviously I'm the Mandalorian. I'm in this outfit. I'm super strong and powerful, and I just got my ass thrown back by the force shield that you've got around your body.
That's the fatherly bond,
I'll leave
bro.
you alone.
That's the father. It's like
I
your kid in the
know.
middle of something. You're like, I'm gonna try it 4 times before I'm like, all right.
So for me, it was one too many times. Now, some people I could see saying it was too many times. But for me, watching it from my perspective, that one last extra time, I was like, did you guys not have anything for the episode? Because like this feels real stupid. Like to me, it broke the immersion for me in that moment for a moment because I was just like, I don't feel like the Mandalorian would do that a third time. I don't think
Well,
I think he would have said what he said. I'm gonna cover you, kid. To me, I feel like that would have happened after the first time of getting thrown back. So for me, just personally, and it's like I said, this is a small thing. I hope somebody listening to the podcast in the comments on the YouTube here that you comment and you agree with me. I don't need you to agree with me to make me feel good, but I just hope somebody else out there in the world was watching this episode and goes, "Yeah, he's right. There was one too many times." And if you go watch it again and just think like me for a second, it was one too many times attempted. It was just one extra time that made me feel like that's weird. That didn't make
I
sense.
slightly
Why'd they
liked
even
it
do that?
though. I did slightly
Okay.
like it only because it made you realize that even
He
him,
did.
who's a
Yeah.
badass, he went into panic mode for a second because his number one priority as a bounty hunter should be just to go get his bounty, get his money. But right there, it
Right.
showed you his number one priority right there is that kid,
Was
right?
right.
Essentially,
Right.
that's his road dog now. Like there ain't nothing he's gonna do, and it's leading up to the talk.
Ride or die.
I guess we missed this talk, right? The
Right.
talk of like when they're flying in, and he's there, and he's like, "Do your thing, do your thing." He does the ball again, and he says that like something. It's like he says some kind of a space word. It sounds like he's saying a cuss word, and the
Right.
and Baby Yoda. I got to keep calling him Baby Yoda, dude. I got to. But he like does this like, oh, and he's like, no, you did good. You did good. Like he's like happy, but you can see he's like, but I am gonna have to take you to somebody because you need to be trained. You're more
Right.
powerful than I can handle. Like he understands that like he wants to do what right now he perceives as best for this
Right.
guy, and for a hardcore badass bounty hunter that pretty much we've seen him go through a ton of people
Right.
to worry
They're
about one other person like that. You're showing this bond that's going to be
yeah.
creating. It's going to
They're
make things
showing his
happen.
humanity. They're showing his humanity and his weakness. And I get it. I get it. It's just for me, it didn't. Just it's and like I said, it's not a big deal. It wasn't a deal breaker. It didn't like ruin the show for me. It was just a brief moment that I'm like the skeptical, cynical, judgmental mind of mine was like, what? That's too
Well,
many times.
Robin said the same thing though too, right? Like, what are we doing here? But
Yeah.
you know, Boba Fett shows up, and I got to tell you, this is the one thing that I did get right and wrong. I got right that he was coming this episode, but I
Right.
got wrong that he was not a bad guy. I guess you always perceived him to be a bad guy because he was working for the Empire at that point.
Well, he's just a bounty hunter. He's
But he's
just
just a
getting
bounty
paid.
hunter. He's just so
I
he
mean,
what
technically, Han Solo's a bad guy, really. Like if you think about it, he's a smuggler. He's a scum. You know what I mean? So,
yeah
I mean,
working
granted,
for that money for sure.
he's pretty scum. He's pretty low life scum. Just happened to do some good things, but he was also motivated by getting paid as well. Remember, like, if you help me rescue her, there's tons of money in it. You know what I mean? So, he
So
just happened to fall in love.
I
So
guess I guess like what shocked me, but also makes sense, is that it shows you when he explained how that armor's his and he's not a
yeah.
Mandalorian, right? But the armor is his.
He's a
And
foundling.
no, he's not. His dad was. He's a clone. Boba
Yeah,
Fett
but they
is a clone.
he I know, but Mando called him a foundling. He said you're a foundling.
And he,
You got
I think you're mixing
you
that
got
up. I think he said your father was a foundling.
no. He
Yes,
said he said you're a foundling. Watch it again. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said you're a foundling. So,
but
um,
the whole shit cracks off, and
yes.
Mando's already like, yeah, man, child's already gone. He's like, no, ride or die, dude. I already made a deal. We're gonna stick to the
Dude,
deal. That right
I
there makes if they have a Boba Fett spinoff even better too, dude.
so first off, Boba Fett. Okay, all right. So I have two things. Maybe this isn't a negative, but it's something that drew my attention away. His armor looked too small for him.
Yeah, dude. Well, he got swole over the years, bro.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm saying,
Well,
like,
you know what's funny, and this is what I kind of thought of afterwards too, because I was thinking the same thing. Is that armor? Well, so like in the old Star Wars movies, they didn't plan ahead. But if you're
right.
thinking about it nowadays, the armor's not his armor, bro. It's his father's armor. So maybe he's a little
True.
bigger than his father. He's definitely an
True.
older
True.
man now. Maybe he gained that COVID 20. I mean,
Right. So that threw me off a little bit, but I dismissed it the same way you just did right now. I said, well, it's his father's armor, it's handed down to him, and he's obviously an older guy now, and this armor's been gone for a while, and it's probably like quick fit too. Like this is just like quickly fitted on for battle, and it's not like really the whole true makeup, and maybe we get to see him get refitted up and blah 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 blah. I made a bunch of excuses and just dismissed it pretty quickly in my mind. But then when he got to action, I was like, holy shit! Like Boba Fett was a
There's a lot of
badass, and he
tech. There's a
is.
lot of tech in that armor too,
There's a
bro.
lot of tech in that armor, and he is a badass. And also, from what we know about the Mandalorians, it seems like the more they achieve and the more they earn, the more tech they get. So
Yeah.
for him to be like set up with the knee missiles and what all the crap that was coming out of that thing, I was like, holy crap, dude, this is dope. I like this. And then again, like you said, when he says, "Oh no, no, no," we're gonna go help you get him. I was like, oh
Dude,
shit, like
also
this is gonna be good.
a very intense episode, but you're able to throw a little bit of comedy in when he fucking shoots down the ship. He's like, "Good
Yes.
shot." He's like, "I was aiming for the other one."
Yeah, I was aiming for the other one. Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
A
That was a
happy
good
accident,
line.
bro.
Yeah, that was a good line. I was like, wait a minute, because he took out both ships by shooting one, and then it's like, now I was aiming for the other one. So I like that. Here's the thing. He planned that out, obviously. That was definitely skill. I think the coolest part there is that they show that he's a person of humor, which is cool because it means his character isn't going to just be this bland. I'm not
Dry.
about to that I
Yes.
killed everything.
Yeah.
He's actually going to be this cool guy. And what makes it even funnier is that he died. Well, not died, but he got into the Sarlacc pit by accident, by pure accident. Like if you go back and watch, remember it was just an accident. He turned around, he's blind, and he hits his jetpack and knocks him into the
Yeah,
Sarlacc
yeah. They
pit,
made
right?
dude in the movie. They made him a joke, right? Like he was a fucking joke. That I mean,
Oh
it is what
dude.
it is. I had a long weekend in Vegas, so I can't remember the lady's name, but it's really cool that the first teaser we got of Boba Fett was during that episode when he was doing the mission with her. He thought
Yep.
she had perished, but Boba Fett saved her. It also gives you a
Yep.
telltale on something right there, right? It shows you that he's not some heartless killer either. He obviously, I mean, she owes him a debt or whatever now, and they're working together. But he obviously is not a cold blooded killer gonna let someone die out. I mean, he
Right.
has. I feel like there is still a
Right.
slight. He's doing it for a different reason. I feel like Boba Fett can't be 100% good and happy like we're seeing it right now, but it shows the cool side of Boba that we definitely never seen before.
I definitely think he's 100% good. He could have jeopardized the child's life to kill those guys and went further. He's definitely well. Let's say this: he's not 100% good. He's definitely not working for the guys that we know are bad.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay,
So
but other than that, we don't know much more.
I got another shocker and then a big letdown for me. But the next shocker was probably the biggest shocker for everybody watching it. I guess the second biggest shocker. But the Razor Crest getting fucking whacked out,
Oh
dog.
man!
Dude,
Oh,
you ain't getting no droids to fix that, brother. All right?
dude.
You ain't get that ship has gotten its ass kicked over the two seasons over and over again. That thing
You
is
know what
gonzo, bro.
Yeah, but you know what I've realized? I think that I've realized this. His ship is the C-3PO of this series.
Dude, it gets fucked on.
It's gonna get rebuilt and it's gonna
It's
get
not
blown
getting
up and
it's
torn
not
up.
getting rebuilt
It,
though. It's not.
I'm telling you right now, he's gonna get a new one and just put that knob in there and he's gonna call it the Razor Crest. Like that, the only thing that survived is that knob that they keep
That
placing.
knob and the fucking Beskar spear.
Oh my dude, I like to me, I laughed out loud when they blew it up. I was like, oh shit! I
Dude,
was like,
a headshot, just one
that's
shot.
funny. One shot just blew that thing up, and I'm thinking like, what is it made out of? Because it's like, I I would be trying to find the best car,
What?
and like make my ship out of that. Like,
Didn't we see it getting dogfights throughout the season already? Right?
dude, we've seen it get shot before, and it didn't just. But of course, it's not shield. it's not shielded up. It's off and parked basically. So like he gets his parked car just wrecked, and so
That's like a
I
comedy
laughed.
movie when someone has their car parked and like a piano falls out the window and falls on your car.
Right. Dude, I laughed so hard because I was like, I've already seen, the foreshadowing of that whole like comedy of like his ship just getting effed up constantly. So like I already knew, from as soon as the fish episode where they like barely put his ship together and they just did it with like fish nets and stuff. I knew from that moment on, I'm like, this is going to be a running joke for as long as they can pull it off. They're just going to keep effing up his ship. His ship is the C3PO.
Dude,
It's
that
just going to
ship
keep
is
falling
not coming
apart,
back, bro. That thing
coming
is
back to life.
gone. Rest in
Bro,
peace, Razor Crest. It's done so,
it's
dude.
it's going to come back to life in the next episode. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be like he's going to go to the port with his old friends and they're going to be like, "Yeah, we built you another one cuz we just kind of
Heard the
guessed that you were going to
news.
have problems
Heard
with
the
it.
news.
We heard the news and I had my
So
droids build you a brand new one."
the next shocker is also the next disappointment for me. Okay, so the
Okay.
next part, I think this actually happened before the Razor Crest blew up, but when they send the shock troopers or I don't the death troopers or whatever they called them, when they send them out, first off, I thought they were people. So now, like, I thought they were the clones. They're not. They're robots. But they
They're
just come
droids, yeah.
fucking flying out, and I'm like, okay, here we go. It's be a fucking sick battle, right? No sick
Right.
battle. They fucking land four around him. He passes out. They grab him and fucking fly away. Like,
Right.
you hyped those guys up already with that scene when he showed them inside there. When those guys just fucking Iron Man'd in.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Yeah.
they Iron Man'd out. How did the fucking kid not choke out in space?
Um, because then there would be no story. There would be no chase. There'd be no story. So for me, I was okay with that because I can I give you one of my theories?
Yeah.
My theory is that he's trying to clone Vader, and he's going to use the child's DNA or midichlorians or whatever to do it. Kind of like the Star Killer, because it's either going to be Star Killer, kind of like a Star Killer style story where they're cloning somebody ultra powerful using DNA from a Jedi, or they're going to clone. He's going to clone Vader back. And I know that the cloning and stuff is probably who knows. This is my theory. Um, so far, there's been so much resemblance to like Vader that I feel like for some reason they really want to bring Vader back.
Well, there's a
They
lot of
really
Vader. There's a lot of Vader in the episodes, right? With all the bad guys, with
right.
Moth
They're just
Gideon, with some of the
yeah, dude.
guys' outfits, you get a real Vader.
You know how you could smell garlic and you could taste it once you smell it. Like no,
Yeah.
you're so familiar with garlic. Like I feel like that's what this is. Like I smell Darth Vader in the air.
Well, so
You
that's
know.
another thing. We skipped past it because there's so much to talk about. We talked about how great the Ahsoka episode was without even
Right.
finishing on it. Actually,
Right.
so if you watch the Clone Wars, you understand Ahsoka. If you watch Rebels, you understand Ahsoka's last mission. Her last mission was to track down Grand Admiral Thrawn, because he
Yep.
had taken Ezra
Right.
to the Outer Rims. Okay,
Right.
so
Which is like basically where we're at right now because she's hunting him
basically,
down.
yeah. And where we pick up is exactly where they left off, which is crazy to me. So now I'm trying to figure out who is the
I
bad
think
guy.
it's great. I think it's
Who?
great because I watched the Clone Wars too, so I think it's great.
Well, now you got to figure. You got to try to figure out who is the big bad. Okay, so
Well, it's
there's been
never
a
going to be the
couple.
Admiral. He's a big
Wait,
bad guy, but he's not the main bad guy.
Thrawn? Is that who you're talking about?
Right. Right. He's not going to be the main bad guy. They've always got to
Oh,
have an admiral in there that but I don't think he's going to be the main bad guy.
so you
I
okay?
don't think he's
Okay,
going to be
here's a question for you because we're gonna find out in the next two episodes on this for sure. Who do you
right.
think, if you had to rank them right now? Right now, we know the two big bads as that we've seen or haven't seen but have heard of would be Moth Gideon, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Who is ranked 1 and 2 on chain of command right now?
Oh, the admiral's number 1.
So you think?
Absolutely.
So you think there's somebody above Grand Admiral Thrawn right now?
Absolutely. I don't think he exists yet. I think that's what's happening. or currently in the works.
So this is the Wild West of Star Wars that we don't like. I guess there's some maybe a few books. Maybe they're not even canon. But this is the dead space between how we got to Snoke, how we got to the Emperor being way off and the fucking dead moon, whatever the fuck he was at, right? So this is
Right.
that. Hey, what happened to the Empire right after the Empire fell, while the Empire was rebuilding itself secretly? So
Right, but
who?
I don't think this. I don't. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that this is not part of that area of the galaxy. I think this is a completely different, like, this has nothing to do to pertain to Palpatine at all. I don't think this
So
I don't think this storyline's gonna take us in that
so
direction.
so let me tell you why I think it's going straight towards that direction. Okay,
Okay.
cloning,
Right.
cloning. Uh, when we finally saw the last Star Wars movie, and they went and found, or when Kylo Ren went over there and he walks past the cloning tanks of the failed clones, and there were Snokes. That
Yes.
scene mimics the clone scene we already seen here with the clones that didn't take in these tubes, right? So I feel like we're gonna find out in here what we already knew, and that's the Emperor survived, and now he's picking a select few, maybe not even telling them that it's him, putting them into emotion, and now we're gonna think that Thrawn's gonna be the big bad guy. Thrawn's gonna think he's doing things to move his agenda, but
Right.
the big catch 22 is that
Is the cloning of Snoke.
is
So Snoke,
the
you think Snoke's going to be the ultimate the ultimate bad guy?
I
Since he
think
was
that
pretty much worthless in the 3 movie series, right?
yeah, so I think that this is how they got to making a clone of Snoke is they stole some Jedi his abilities. Snoke was very,
Right.
very strong. Who are we thinking right now is a super strong little baby? Oh,
Can I
dude,
blow can I blow your mind a little bit more?
get me, get me.
So here's cuz they've talked about this. So here's my thought. We get to this, but the Mandalorian changes the destiny of this child, and Snoke doesn't come about, and we rewrite the last 3 movies,
I don't.
and they get a
So
and they get it and they get a do-over
I don't think
with with
so. I don't
with
think
Luke
that.
Skywalker.
So you know how to
It seems kind of stupid, but
fix these last three movies.
it's all a Jedi dream in a
The
cave, in
way
a
you
dark
fix
cave.
these last three movies is you give them a little
So
more substance. The things that we asked for that you can't redo, and
maybe.
the Snoke thing is one of them. Seeing some of the back plans, maybe they'll show us some things. I guess we're jumping far ahead on this, but I'm going to
Oh,
tell
we're
you right
going all
now.
over the place now.
I'm telling you right now. Grogu, Baby Yoda, the little green guy in a fucking carriage is not going to survive this show. He will not survive it, unfortunately.
I don't think
Uh,
so either. I think that he's the perfect target to warm everybody's hearts, but then be the worst emotional breakdown of your life to keep the
well,
show
I'm
super
going to take
interesting.
this thing one step farther. So, because of the end of last episode, when fucking little Yoda's just choking the shit out of some stormtroopers, okay? They're teasing you. They're teasing you. They're showing you that, yeah, he could be dark, right? He could be.
Right,
And we already had the small epiphany when Ahsoka was like, yeah, you got to be very careful. I'm not going to train him.
right.
Um, I have a feeling that we're maybe not the next season, maybe the season after, but we're going to
Right.
see the child go dark. And I'm going to jump far ahead, and I don't know how we get to this point, but unfortunately, Mando will have to be the one to take him out.
Okay, so here's the I think you're right. And here's the thing so we don't think Moff Gideon has force powers, do we?
I'm actually not sure yet. I do know that he had an interview and he bragged 100% bragged about some epic lightsaber fights. So
Right.
you know we're gonna see him and Ahsoka fucking fight once at
Right.
least.
So here's where I look at this and I go, so she told him that a Jedi would find him depending on what his choice was after the Seeing Stone. And just so happens right at that moment. Now, obviously, the Razor Crest had a tracking beacon on it, but also right after he's done with that stone, Moff Gideon shows up, and he's technically could be a bat.
Yeah.
He
So
could be a Sith.
I think that if Moff Gideon has any powers, he's force sensitive. He's not. He's not
Right.
to that caliber. So that was actually
Interesting.
that's actually one of the closing questions I want to ask. We can actually kind of get to it already, but this is my thing, and I have three solid options. But who do you
Okay.
think? Who do you think? If you had to pick one, because I do think there's gonna be multiple, but who do you think? Seeing the little road flare shot in the air by Baby Yoda, who did he communicate to? I mean, he obviously didn't communicate to somebody, but who's gonna accept? Who's gonna get that message?
Road flare. Maybe I didn't see what you're talking about.
So no, his signal. Okay, like he's gotten on the stone. It put a message out to the
Oh, oh,
universe.
oh,
So
oh,
I'm just
oh,
saying,
oh.
who did he shoot that road flare
Who
to?
who do we think is going to see the flare and come and be a part of his life?
Yes.
I would say, well, it can't be Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan's dead.
Only
I
way.
want to say
The
Obi-Wan
only way we'll see Obi-Wan. The only way we're gonna see Obi-Wan is in a flashback in
is in a
this
flashback
show,
in this show. Yeah.
or a Force Ghost. Which don't do that, please.
Um, Luke Skywalker.
Not a bad guess. He's
Luke
on my
Skywalker, but
list.
played by somebody else. It's not going to be played by Mark Hamill.
Well, there's that guy that they're already showing that looks like young Mark Hamill. Have you seen the
Oh, do they
comparison
have a
yet?
guy?
Oh, dude,
Oh
yeah,
no,
he
no,
didn't even cosplay. They just fucking took a picture of this guy, took a picture of him, and they look the
really.
same. And he happens to be an actor. But yeah, there
Well,
is
I
okay.
mean,
So he is absolute last on my list because he is definitely a possibility. But I think he's one of the lower ones to be on there, in my opinion.
right, right,
So with what's happening here and what all these characters are reactivating and all these characters are showing love to, I think that the number one choice is going to be Ezra. He's out there still.
right,
As far as
right,
we know, he's under Thrawn's. He's captured by Thrawn. He's a prisoner. He's something, right? But
right.
if they already had a Jedi with some powers, why would they be trying to clone Yoda or Grogu, right?
They
So
need more than one. They need multiple sources because they're trying to combine to create a uber mutant Sith.
that could be one. What, like the reason they can make Grogu so special is maybe he's like really, really strong in the Force, right? So like, hey, that's the
Right,
one we want. We don't want this guy. We want that. But so I think that
right.
Ezra would be a very obvious choice on who got the signal. Also, I don't know his name. I wanted to research this before we went live, but I forgot. But that
Right.
last Star Wars game that just came out, him, that kid, because the person in the game is already the actor from Shameless and from a couple other TV shows. He's already an
Right.
actor. They set it up perfect to where at the end of that game, he's still around too. He technically was a Padawan that was rescued also, or a youngling that was rescued from the temple also. So he is on that list for me because he's such a good actor. They set it up already. Like they already kind of knew, hey, let's put this game out, and
Yeah.
later on, so he's on there for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You're right.
Ahsoka is on there because what I would say is obviously Ahsoka knows about him, but if Ahsoka was doing her thing, he went over there, and then she got the strong feeling from it, she'd be like, ah, fuck, now I gotta go do this. So she's on there, and then Luke,
um.
Luke Skywalker was my last one. We know Luke's
Right.
around. We know Luke.
Right.
I don't know what time of the time period, but we know Luke started his own Jedi Academy. This is when Kylo, went to the dark side when he tried to do his own Jedi shit, right? So we know Luke was around, and it'd be a perfect way to kind of tie all that stuff together. Also, especially because of this whole Palpatine backstory that I think, I mean, not even close to confirmed, right? But it will tie all these movies together really good. So I think it's going to
Yeah.
be one of those four for sure.
Okay, so I wanted to touch the Palpatine thing again because I think I'm pretty sure Palpatine said he was Snoke.
So yes and no and yes and no. Those movies are so fucked up, dude. So
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure he said to them that he was Snoke. Like
so he
I'm pretty sure that he was it was an empty clone shell, and he was projecting into Snoke.
no, no,
And
no.
so Snoke
So
was never a real character.
what
That's how they
what
dismissed him. He
he
was never
what he
really actually a
said
separate
what he
character.
said was he had full control of Snoke. So my understanding on that was that he was a clone. He was a clone. We don't know of who, but he was a clone controlled by him. So he controlled his every thought, his every movement, this and that.
Right. He wasn't
So
just like a projection in the Force, like Luke was,
no, no, no.
where he's real.
He was an actual clone person. That's why you
Okay.
saw the other clones in the jar still, right?
Right.
So
I know.
and he
I'm just
obviously
thinking like
he wasn't like a clone of Palpatine either, because then it it's just open for interpretation. That's why it would be perfect right now.
right. I feel like what I got out of that was that it was basically like they were trying to transfer Palpatine into a new body without him having to go through the ceremony because they didn't have Rey. So then Snoke, the Snoke clones were his attempts at trying to keep himself alive. That's what I perceived that as. So I thought Snoke was the way that they explained Snoke was that he was irrelevant. That's why it didn't matter that he died because he wasn't even a real person. He was just a
Well,
shell for Palpatine.
Snoke was 100% a clone.
Right.
Snoke was meant to be two different things. One, he was meant to be out there to be doing things because Palpatine was still recharging, whatever, recovering. So he needed something out there, and that was his plan. Two, it takes
Hooked up
100%
to a
attention.
CPAP machine.
Yeah, yeah. It takes 100% attention off everything else when you have this new, um, you have the new empire, whatever the hell they called themselves, the new republic or the new fucking, God, I
Yeah.
can't remember it.
The new
But
order. The new order.
the new order, yeah. So like it was a scheme on a scheme, right? What it was, attention, they tried to make it be, it was like he was playing chess 20 moves ahead of you. But
Right.
I'm pretty sure that what he said was Snoke was nobody. I controlled him. Like he was like saying that, like, it's a clone, but like it wasn't of him. He was just had all control of it. So he was able to
Right.
manipulate his thoughts, control what he was doing. But
Right.
it's still, even if it's an empty clone and needed someone strong, it would still maybe
Right.
tie into this because you need the
Right.
powers. Although it kind
I
of leaves
just
that same loophole of like, you're fucking strong. Why can't they take it
right.
from you?
So here's why I don't think that the story is going to tie into Palpatine or the clones. And I'm just gonna this is just my opinion or whatever, and it's because I think John Favreau is smart enough to stay 5 million billion miles away from all that dumb chaos that was created between all of that. I think that that's why he took this job. That's why he's doing this because he knows he gets to stay away, far away from all of that tainted, gross, just
Well, he's
mess.
already on record saying that he is here to tell good stories, combine good stories. And he had
Right.
said that he doesn't like to bash, I forgot the exact words, he don't like to bash other people's projects, but the last three movies had the potential to be absolute gold. And it was unfortunate in the series the way it fell with interpretations, different directors, and different screenwriters.
Right.
So I'm telling you, man, how do you
I don't,
become loved? How do you become the best of the best of the best?
I'll
Dude,
tell you,
fixing something without even touching it, bro. I'm telling you.
uh,
Giving you
finding a way to wipe out that version of history so that you can redo the past three movies.
You
I'm
can't,
not
bro.
even kidding.
That's like saying, "Hey, why did we get rid of fucking the Phantom Menace and Jar Jar Binks and this and that?" After everything,
Man,
all those
if
movies
only we
get a
could get
little
rid of
better.
Jar Jar Binks.
All those movies get a little better when you add different context, man. They honestly do. Like,
Honestly, though, you know what? I would love to keep Jar Jar Binks if they turn him to the dark side and he becomes that meme that they made, like the dark side. He actually was a Sith.
Yeah,
I
they're
would love to see Jar Jar as a Sith. Like I would love to see them explain that in a story and show, like they did on that one little YouTube video where they like explain that he's a Sith. I was like, oh shit, you're right.
so. Do you have an idea, a hope of what's going to happen in the next episode?
Me, no. I honestly I got it wrong last time. I don't want to make any assumptions. If anything, um, it's time to go get all the friends. It's time to get the posse, just like in every other Star Wars film. Get the whole crew together and go save the child in one big glorious battle where they blow up the ship with one shot.
So do you know who Bill Burr is?
Bill Burr, yeah, the comedian.
Comedian. You know that he was in one of the first episodes of The Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought he was a meme in the episode. They just kind of used him. Obviously, he's in next week's episode.
Okay.
So they're gonna go. That's why he went back to Gina Carano and had him look him up in the system to find out where he's at. They're gonna go break him out of jail. He has information that they need. Okay.
Okay. All
So
right.
um, what we're
You
gonna
son of
see?
a bitch.
What we're gonna see?
It's a
What
heist.
we're
It's a
gonna
heist movie.
see is
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
we're gonna see them exactly what you said, rally the troops. But they're not going to
Yep.
rally them all in that episode, unfortunately. So now we got Gina back with us, okay? We also have Boba Fett. We got homegirl that Boba Fett saved.
Yep.
Quite possibly will we have the other guy that was he that handled all the bounties that end up being his friend, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're gonna go break Bill Burr out. It'll be a shit show, but they'll get him out, okay?
Bro. I want to see the what do they call that? The landing bay operator lady. I want to see her come back. The one who
Well,
babysat, right? I want to see her come back because I love her smart ass comments. I just love her smart ass
I
comments.
don't think we're
Her
seeing her this season.
and I have spoken. What's his name? I want to see him come back. I want to see the whole group come together in one big glorious like comedic slash action film. Go save the child,
Well,
even if it's just for like a short little piece.
we're gonna jailbreak. We're gonna jailbreak Bill Burr, okay? And
Right.
we're gonna do that fairly quick. I think it's not gonna drag this episode out. We're gonna do it fairly quick. And
Do you think we ever see the
somehow,
frog people again?
I don't
I mean,
know.
they really
I
have no
feel
dialogue, so I don't think that
I
they would
feel
bring them
like
back.
that was a filler. I feel like that was a filler. Maybe we'll see
Right.
them. We're not gonna see them this season. Okay,
Right.
we're eventually gonna get to the very end of this episode. Go into Ahsoka.
Right.
We can't go to her next episode. We have to go to her this episode. So
Right.
the first half of this episode, breaking out Bill Burr, being
Okay.
like, "Hey, Moff Gideon's hanging out at fucking 229 Apache. Got to go get him." Well, we got everybody. We got the address. Guess who we got to get? Fly over Ahsoka. He was jack moded. And she's gonna be like, "Oh, where are they at? 220 Apache? That's where Thrawn's at." Boom. Episode 15 done. Episode 16. We are gonna go and we're gonna go fucking fight it out for little Grogu. But what's gonna happen, dude? We're gonna see our first lightsaber battle. We're gonna see our first ass kicking of Ahsoka, bro. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose so bad. It's gonna look like there's no hope left. Roll credits. Roll credits.
Hold.
Wait for season 3, bro.
No. Ahsoka's gonna get her ass kicked by Moff Gideon.
100% get
No,
her
come
ass
on.
kicked by those guys. Whether it be Moff Gideon and those black robots and Thrawn, we are getting our ass kicked and we're going to be left with our hands in our ass and looking like there's no hope. Cliffhanger. Wait for season 3.
Wait. So you're calling 2 episodes. We have 2 episodes left.
I had to because I thought about it and I looked at it and we only have 2 episodes left. Next
So you're
episode,
saying is just breaking him out of prison and that whole spiel.
we're next episode. We're gonna break him out of prison. We're gonna figure out where we're going, and we
And
have to
who we
go.
get for the
And we
team.
gotta ask Ahsoka, "Will you come with us?"
Okay.
Ahsoka will also be like, "No shit, I'm gonna help you because I was gonna go there anyways." That's where she had to go to meet Thrawn.
To meet Thrawn.
Guaranteed.
Right. Right. That makes a lot of
So
sense. Okay.
you know what the last little cliffhanger will be too is Ezra. Maybe like in the background. Remember the
Ezra
feet?
will show up at the end, kind of
Remember
like
the
a Luke
feet you were talking
Skywalker
about?
moment.
Remember the
Yeah.
feet you were talking about? We're gonna see some feet. It's gonna be Ezra. But that's all we're gonna see. Dude, we're gonna get our ass handed to us. We're gonna get
Hey,
our
man.
ass handed to us.
You can't recycle my idea from last week.
Dude,
No, I get it though.
it's
I get
gonna
it.
leave you fucking sitting there like, no, when is season 3
Uh,
coming out? Google.
I,
After
man,
Friday, December 18th, the most Google phrase is gonna be Mandalorian season 3 release date. Because
yep.
motherfuckers are gonna be fiending for that first episode.
You're absolutely right. See, I hate to say that you're right about cliffhangers, but I know you're right because it's a TV series. So the only other thing that they could do that's possible as well is that they could give us everything that we want. They could give us the conclusion, right? So we can go into this battle, we can win, we can get the child back, and we can know that Ezra's going to train him, and that could be the cliffhanger is knowing that Ezra's about to train the child.
Hey, we can
And
give everybody free healthcare too, but it doesn't work out, Pineapple. It ain't gonna happen, bro. It ain't gonna happen. We had a happy ending last season. This season,
um
we're gonna get our ass kicked and be
oh
waiting to
man.
see what's gonna happen. We are
I mean
gonna
that's just
end this season with a
dude,
sad ending, bro.
of course that's the Star Wars
The Star
formula.
Wars Morrow, bro.
That's
I'm
the
telling
Star
you.
Wars formula, man.
And
This
it's
is
gonna be so good. It's gonna be the
so what you're
best
telling
cliffhanger.
me. So what you're telling me is this is Empire Strikes Back,
100%.
right? So this
And
is
guess
Empire
what?
Strikes Back.
Season
It's
3?
doom and gloom.
Season 3?
Is Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
And that
It's the
Jedi
Star
is
Wars
Ezra.
formula.
That Jedi is Ezra.
Oh my God, you're cracking me up. You're
Dude,
cracking me up.
dude, it has
I
to
don't
be.
want you to be
It
right. I don't
100%
want you to
has
be
to be.
right. I don't want you to be right. I want a conclusion. Here's what I think. Okay, so I'm gonna give you my outlook. Okay. Um. Oh my God, I
You're
can't even
pausing
fucking
so hard
say it.
because you can't, bro. You can't.
I don't want to say it. Okay. So I will be really pissed if Moff Gideon beats Ahsoka. That doesn't make any sense. But okay, we can go for that. I think we find ourselves in a situation where Mando has to make a choice between the only way to save the situation is by killing the child, is by killing Grogu.
Too soon, bro. Too soon. Too soon.
You think they're going to develop him more? You think that he's going to be in season 3?
Grogu? Yes.
Okay. So you think it's potentially a fully developed, possibly get to the point where he becomes basically the next Anakin, and then at
No.
some point Mando has to come back and kill him.
No. I'm just
Okay.
saying he makes it to season 3 for sure because he is essentially the big part of the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger is they still have him. We need him. We want him. We gotta save
Oh
him.
man.
But
Man.
we just got our ass kicked with the fucking A squad. We just assembled Mando, dude. We might even We might even have Bo Katan. Think about this. If we get all the badasses we just got, Mando, Bo Katan, those 3 other
That's
Mandalorians,
why I don't think we
fucking Boba
lose. I
Fett,
don't think we don't
and we
lose.
get our ass handed to us. What's the only thing that'll save us, bro? Oh shit. You know what it is? It's those
Ezra.
feet. It's those feet we only see, and we're like Googling who wears size 12 fucking boots in Star Wars.
Who is light pink skins with vein, like I know what you're talking about, but no, I think we did just get our ass kicked. I think we just got our kids stolen, and this is like a John Wick moment. I
No,
think
bro.
this is a John Wick moment.
You got slapped
I
in the
think
face. You
I
just
think
barely
I
got
think you
slapped in the
just
face.
I think you just shot John Wick's kid, and Mando's John Wick, and Grogu is the dog, and you just shot John Wick's dog. You're about to fucking pay.
Bro,
and dude, there's no way. Dude,
you're
you see
too
how badass
hopeful.
Boba Fett was?
You're
You've
too
got Boba Fett,
hopeful.
you've got Mando, you've got Ahsoka. There's no way we're losing this. We're gonna go in and whoop some ass and take the kid back, and we'll be like, what? And then that's when the bad guy shows up.
Guys,
That's the cliffhanger. That's
guys,
when you're like, oh shit.
today's date is December 6th. It's Sunday. Tomorrow is Mando Monday when we're going to upload this, okay? December 12th or December 7th. And I just want you guys to know in the comments, shame Pineapple for trying to change any of this because he knows it. He might be fighting it, but he knows it. We unfortunately are
Oh
going
my
to get
god.
our ass kicked. And you know what?
Oh my
It could
god.
even be another spinoff I didn't think about until now. Bill Burr could fucking set us up and we could be walking into a trap. Because that's how
Yep.
they get us, right? It's a trap.
It's a trap. That
It's a trap.
I will go with that. I will go with that first. That he sells out the squad. I can go for that. That's more believable. That sounds more
But
reasonable to me.
we get our
But
ass
losing,
whooped.
by just getting our ass whooped, no, not without it being a trap. Not without somehow us not see it coming. Do I see that? But I like what you just said because I think we should. I think we should try to wrap. Maybe are you good to wrap up a little bit?
Oh, we're rapping. Yeah, we are. We are. This
Okay.
is it.
So I'm with him. So in the comments below, okay, definitely I want you guys to comment. I'm reminding you, comment if you agreed that Mando tried to go after the child one too many times in the little force-filled bubble. Okay. Please comment if you agree with me. And if you didn't, then comment that as well and say that you agreed with Ninja that it was fine and it showed his humanity and that he really cared about the kid, where I think it was too much. Anyway, and also you need to pick sides. Are we gonna lose? Or like Ninja says, we're gonna lose it. We're gonna get our ass beat. Or are you on my side? Are we gonna go in and we're gonna win, but we're gonna see the ultimate bad guy, which that's the doom and gloom, because we get a taste of the real enemy for the first time, even though we just got the kid back. So put it in the comments. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Okay, go check out Urban Ninja Fu on Twitch, Shaded Pineapples on Twitch. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video, comment on the video, and Ninja take the rest.
Guys, if you enjoy what we're doing here, we have plenty of things coming down the pipeworks, all right? If there's a TV show that you would enjoy us to jump into, break down for you, video games, we're going to be reviewing Cyberpunk very soon. It's coming out, guys. You let us know, and we're going to talk to you. It's a great mixture right now. You have, me, who has the right opinion, and you have Pineapple with this crazy Kool-Aid. You guys let us know what you want us to talk about. We're going to hit you up. We appreciate you guys hanging out. We're going to try to keep them at this hour mark. This is an hour and 17. So we will be having our episode drop Mando Monday. We will try to drop one more on Friday for you guys. The topic, it's top secret. But we'll catch you guys next time. Make sure you hit our likes and subscribes. Share that video, guys.